Alrighty, welcome back guys. So you may have watched my HiTEC X2 AC Pro battery charger review, and in that review I said I would never buy another battery charger again because it was perfect. I had zero problems with it and it did everything I wanted it to do. But I also said that when I did purchase it, there was no such thing as the X4. It wasn't released yet. And I said that if I had to do it all over again, I would probably go with the X4 Pro. Well, it just so happens that my brother's battery charger went bad, so I sold him my X2 Pro and picked up the X4. So here's all the differences and what I think. And overall, I like this more, but I'm not saying that it's better than the X2 Pro. It's going to come down to your preference. There's pros and cons to both. But first, what does it come with? Well, it comes with the charging cable you need for the wall outlets. It does come with two of these balance boards, but you want to purchase like legit balance boards like these because these can only do one battery at a time. You've got this connector because on the back side you can power this with the wall outlet, or you can plug this into your car battery and charge it that way. And that's what this is for. So you can make a little harness that goes to your car battery and just plug it in that way. You get two of these with bare ends to where you can put whatever connector you want on the other end. Another one like this with your standard servo connector. And one like this with this type of battery connector. I don't even know what it's called. I don't use them. So the main difference between the X4 and the X2 obviously is the X2 has two power outlets to where you can run two balance boards. The X4 has four. And I like that more because I am super OCD about making my batteries last as long as possible. So at the end of the day, when I get done flying, I balance charge all my batteries. That was my biggest complaint with the X2. I mean, if the batteries are discharged, then charging them to the storage charge takes no time at all. But discharging batteries takes a while because both of these will discharge at a max of 600 milliamps or 0.6 amps. So if you have a lot of charged batteries, that's going to take a while. But that's 600 milliamps per channel. So because this has two more channels, I can storage charge my batteries twice as fast. Another difference is going to be with the X2 Pro. It did not have this switch on the back to power it on and off. And it doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but it's a huge deal for me because where I have this and use it, I have it on a desk and the plug-in is behind the desk, and whenever I disconnect it to power it off, the cable would fall behind the desk, and oh, what a pain that is. So now I can just flip the switch. The X2 Pro has a port to where it actually comes with a soldering iron, and you can plug that soldering iron into a port that is right here, and then you have a mobile soldering station. The X4 Pro does not have that feature. That's not that big of a problem for me because I actually have a portable mobile soldering iron, so I really didn't end up using it that much. It does also have the 5 volt 2.1 amp USB port, and it's always powered on. You don't have to turn it on or press any switches or anything. And just like with the X2 Pro, I said that this is a very handy thing to have because I use it to power my GoPros, my other HD cameras, even my Turnigy Evolution. Anything that uses a USB, you can use this to charge it. The fans with the X2 Pro, it doesn't matter. You could just be charging one battery, and the fans automatically turn on after like 30 seconds to a minute, and they stay on for the entire duration of that battery charging. Where this one, well, let me back up. And the X2 only has two fan speeds. It's either on or high speed. This one, I just charged 12 1300 4S LiPos, and the fans turned on after about 5 minutes, and they ran for about 10 minutes and then turned back off once the temperature got below the threshold. Not only that, but there's 4 fan speeds. You got off, low, medium, and high. And even when I'm charging batteries, it never makes it past the low fan speed. The only time it reaches the max fan speed is if I'm storage charging batteries and it's discharging charged batteries, because that does create a bunch of heat. But point being, I like that because at the high speed on the X2 Pro, it's just so loud, and if it's in the same room that I'm in and I'm trying to watch TV, it does get annoying. Where with this one, on the low speed, you can barely hear it. Also with the X2, I showed you that they do sell a separate Wi-Fi module or Bluetooth module. I can't remember which one it is. One of the two. But you can plug it into this USB port right here, and there's a mobile app. It's a free app, and you can completely control this thing through your phone. So you could start the charge on your batteries, you can stop the charge, you can switch modes from charge to storage charge. You can do anything you want from that mobile app. Well, it's actually built into this one. You don't have to purchase that additional $20 module. So I guess giving up the soldering iron in place for the built-in Wi-Fi module, I prefer that because I actually use that where I did not use the soldering iron. Now as far as this, really not that much has changed. There is a warning screen now. You have to press enter to exit it. But everything else is going to be the same except for like one other thing. For you guys that didn't watch my other review, you can do all these different types of battery types. You also have the battery meter where you can see the individual voltage for each cell. And this goes for if you just have one battery plugged in or a bunch of them. Press this button, it's going to show you the highest and lowest. You can check your battery resistance. Once again, I would recommend just having one battery plugged in to do this. This is handy for me. It lets me know how much resistance my batteries have and lets me know when it's time to replace it once the resistance gets too high. System settings, you can just change your alarms and alerts. By default, this thing beeps every time you push a button, but I've already turned that off. There's a bunch of other things you can do. Then if we go into LiPo-Bat, you can press enter. Well, you can do balance, charge, fast charge, storage, and discharge. If we get into charge, I've got a 1800 plugged in. Hold this button down. It's going to check to make sure you don't have any shorts or anything connected wrong, and if it's good to go, it will come up with this. Press enter, and it will start charging. So like I said, the only difference is now we get this little graphical thing right here, the battery meter, and that's pretty much it. You still go through all these, see your individual cell voltages. The fuel percentage is the same thing as the battery meter. Then if we go this way, it's going to tell me what voltage it's going to stop charging at, how much input voltage I have, temperatures, stuff like that. So just like I said with the X2 Pro, the things I don't like, for this one it's going to be, this one and the X2 Pro both have 200 watts of output, or 300 watts of output if you're charging this with a DC source like a car battery. You get 50 watts of output for all 4 channels, or in the settings you can have you can decrease the wattage on these two to increase the wattage on these two. So you could have 0 watts and 100 watts, or you could have 25 watts and 75 watts, however you want to do it. I don't see this to be a problem. And I don't count this as something I don't like with this. I'm just mentioning it because some people will care. But at 50 watts per channel, that's going to, if you're charging, let's say, a 1300 4S battery, that means you can charge almost 3 batteries at a 1C rating. It's going to be slightly lower. So no, you cannot have 24 1300 batteries on this and charging them all at a 1C rating. It's going to be 3 per balance board or per channel. But I don't find this to be a problem because I don't even own 24 1300 batteries. So I usually go out with 12, and this means that I can do 3 per channel for a total of 12. Or I can increase the wattage to these two. And I also go out with 1S batteries, 2S batteries, 3S, because I'm not just flying multi-rotors, and I'm also flying different size multi-rotors, so I do have a bunch of different types of batteries. So what I've been doing is increase this to, say 75 or 80 watts, decrease this, and I'll charge my smaller batteries on these two and my 1300 and up batteries on these two. Well, that's going to do it, guys. So I'll leave links to where you can find these in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.